Hello there, friends. Tonya Schulte here with the Profit Constructors. If you've been following along, we've walked through setting up jobs, tracking labor, and capturing materials and subs in Knowify. This is the last in our 4-part series about streamlining your job costing with Knowify. And now it's time for pulling all of these pieces together and talking about how they can help us to make good decisions. So the last thing I want to talk about is what I think is a really great report to be looking at on the regular. When you go into your jobs and you click in any one of your contract jobs out of the contract job screen and click into reports, let's take a look at this, what sounds like a pretty plain and simple report, which is our profit and loss. And as you can see, this particular report downloads into a Excel format. Let's make this just a little bit bigger so you can actually see what's happening here. Great. So let's take a look at what is happening here. You can see across the top we have budget and committed. So that's going to include our purchase orders and our subcontracts, not just bills and purchases. So it's everything committed across the job. And a variance, which is going to tell you how much is left in the budget for that line item. So we have a budget for our revenue, so our original proposal and what we've already billed on that, and our change orders and what we've already billed on that. And as you can see, we still have some left to bill. And then it breaks down our costs by every phase of the job. If you've been following along, you've seen that we've been looking at a job that was set up to kind of follow along with the phases of how a plumber might see it for simplicity's sake. So we looked at underground, rough-in, and trim sections of the job, plus some change orders that had been added along the way. And so in this current way of looking at things, we can see that we are breaking down our labor and materials and subcontractors by each phase. So if we've gone over somewhere on the job, we can kind of hone in and see exactly where we went over and why. And that's going to help us to understand our real, true job costs and accurately assess how we're coming in against the budgets. And then you can also see that we can see our budgeted profitability, our actual profitability with all of our committed costs factored in. So we can start to really see what's happening on the job. Are we going to come in at this 25% profit or not? And we can delve in and start to really understand true profitability on the job in real time. So you can pull this report as often as needed to keep an eye on every phase of the job and see if it's coming in or under budget, and start to have the right conversations with the right personnel around what's happening, where we need to make some updates or changes to the budget perhaps. Maybe there's some change orders that can be captured if we've gone too far over. Sometimes can, sometimes not. Again, we could do a whole other video series on some of these concepts around like how we might be able to include specific clauses in our contract to accommodate for that. But I'm not the lawyer, so you'll have to talk to my lawyer friends. I just went to a great webinar about that. Okay. So you get to see again all of your profitability and where we land on this particular job. But also, as we've been doing all of this, we've been chatting about the fact that Knowify offers you the ability to do all of this for both your long-term ongoing contracts and your service jobs over here in kind of a new and updated way of looking at service, which I've heard a lot of really great feedback on so far. But you can just come and look at any one of your service jobs that's either ongoing or, in this case, completed. And really quickly in our revenue and cost section, take a look and see what we have billed and what our total cost was and a profit number too. So again, a lot less moving parts, a lot more streamlined over here in the service area, but giving us the exact same data. What do we bill? What are the costs? And what's our overall profit? All right, here's a bonus tip. If your version of Knowify includes WIP or work in progress reporting, you can add a new layer just to see how the job is doing overall, what's been earned versus what's still in progress, kind of do some revenue recognition if you've reached that point in the life cycle of your business where you need that work in progress or work in process WIP reporting. So just a little bonus tip there. If your version of Knowify includes that report, we would highly recommend taking advantage of that for sure. So as we think about it, this is what's kind of bringing everything full circle, right? So we we can enter our budgets, and then we can track all of our actuals against that. And then we have this real-time reporting that we can pull down and see what's actually happening on the jobs. And the beauty of this is that you're no longer running your business from a reactive state. You can be far more proactive and lead your business with real-time data. So thanks so much for joining me on this 4-part series that we did on job costing and Knowify. If you're ready to take control of your job profitability, I'm here to say Knowify is definitely the tool, and we would love to help you make the most of it. So if you want to know more, please do reach out to us here at the Profit Constructors, and we can help you learn everything you'd like to know about it. Talk to you soon.